You are Sam, a new student at the prestigious academy in Arbor. It may be your first year at the school, but there are adventures to be had and friends to make in between classes. The hallowed halls of the academy hold old secrets that are now haunting the present. To prevent catastrophe, Sam will need to prove his puzzle-solving skills to stop the mysterious forces threatening the school. The story in the academy, the first riddle, is weak. The game lore is decent, but it seems to be at the expense of the story itself. The writer spends so much time sketching out the history of Arbor that the characters themselves are ignored. The main character is the standard personality-free mute that video gamers are familiar with, and the NPCs are only slightly better. Characters are best described as one-trick ponies with the personality of a rail line, predictably traveling in a path with only the slightest bend or curve. The dialogue is equally simplistic, leaning heavily on tropes and predictability. The plot itself is bordering on the ridiculous. A variety of small plot holes litter the game, and the adults at the school seem to be oblivious to the extreme. The writing is filled with minor grammar and spelling errors. While the lore is interesting on its own, the dull story and the lousy writing make the Academy a total slog. The Academy, the first riddle, breaks down into 3 tasks: logic puzzles, fetch quests, and reading comprehension puzzles. Puzzles take up a lion's share of the content. Almost all the puzzles are 2D puzzles that can be found in any puzzle book at your local or online bookstore. Each puzzle screen actually contains 2 puzzles. The first puzzle is mandatory to move forward in the game. The second is supposed to be more challenging, but in practice, the difference is only the type of puzzle. The puzzle difficulty is at a good place. The difficulty is generally consistent throughout the game. The puzzles test a variety of skills that can be done in the 2D format. Almost all the puzzles are multiple choice, which means all puzzles can be brute forced with a little bit of patience as long as the player does not care about the score. The game does offer a decent set of tools for solving the puzzles. There are tools for measuring distance and making notes on the puzzle space. It's much easier than trying to find some scrap paper and a pencil in person. The tools can be awkward to use though, as the transition between the puzzle space and the answer space is not always consistent. I would prefer to see the tools completely disabled in the solution area and on the top of the answer arrow. Measuring smaller vertical distances is also difficult to do, as the ruler never seems to appear. There is a good hint system that usually gives practical clues for how to solve the puzzle without actually handing over the answer on a plate. There are a few puzzles where the hint is unhelpful and the explanation is useless. I really like the puzzle logic is explained at the end of each puzzle. There were several times where the logic I used to solve the puzzle or narrow the answer to 2 or 3 possible solutions was off. Learning how the logic was designed was helpful for future puzzles. The other 2 tasks take up a smaller portion of the game. Oftentimes, NPCs will send players to go fetch items. If the player is lucky, they will have to solve a puzzle, otherwise it's a dull jog somewhere on campus to pick up an item and return it. The classes in-game are only slightly more interesting. Each class has a textbook with 3 to 5 chapters. Each chapter is approximately 2 paragraphs long with a bunch of facts on a specific topic. Each class will assign 1 chapter to read, then the teacher will give 2 or 3 reading comprehension questions about the assigned reading. Each question is multiple choice with only 2 options, so they're not taxing at all. The class is then finished with another puzzle. While the sections are not hard, they do create the school atmosphere for the game and provide a lore-building opportunity. The controls are not good in the Academy, the first riddle. There is no way to edit keybinds. The menus are also clunky at times. For example, when players pull up to the classroom menu, reviewing the textbook and exiting will send the player into the game instead of the menu the player was just in. Following NPCs in certain areas is frustrating, as they will automatically stop moving if the player is facing them within a certain range. The distance is too generous, as I ran into many NPCs suddenly stopping and blocking my path. The Academy, the first riddle, is dreadfully boring. The quests fall into a predictable pattern very quickly. The puzzles get a little repetitive as developers are severely limited by the 2D medium. The main story puzzle is in 3D, but the puzzle is repeated over and over again with different pieces. The game quickly boils down to run here, do a puzzle, run there, do a slightly different puzzle, and then do it all over again. The graphical style is influenced by the Harry Potter games and Bully with none of the charm. The Academy grounds feels very generic, save for a few of the crazy machines found in the game. Student models are reused and look rather dated at times. The cutscenes have a nicer animated look, though the art style feels inconsistent at times. The animations are generally poor. They look awkward or just plain uncomfortable for a human body. Many of the animations are unnatural in a way that look like they were directly copied from The Sims and other games from the early 2000s. While the art style is cartoony, the animations are just too weird for the setting. The audio experience is passable. The sound effects are okay, but a little limited in quantity. There is no voice acting, so the game relies solely on dialogue boxes. The soundtrack is decent as it is filled with low-key video game type music designed to help players focus. I don't think there will be a second riddle for the Academy, the first riddle. The puzzles are limited by the 2D nature. The gameplay is dull due to its repetitiveness. While the lore is enjoyable, everything else involving the writing is dreadful. The audio is passable, but the visuals are dated in comparison. For the price of the game, people are much better served ordering a puzzle book and a good young adult novel from their local bookstore. I'm awarding the game 4.5 capsules out of 10. If you want to read this review, be sure to check out the link in the description or in the video's card. I hope to see you soon. This is Jamie from Capsule Computers signing off. Hey YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to Capsule Computers for more awesome videos. If you're looking for more videos to watch, check out our preview of Hardspace Shipbreaker here on the left. If you're looking for a puzzle game to play, check out our preview of Filament here on the right.